aloe. Okay. I got everything working against me today. It's a gorgeous day out, but it's really windy out. I've been under the weather since Sunday, so if I sound a little stuffed up, I got a head cold. And my batteries are just doing a hissy fit again. I have reserve batteries in there for my gaming console, so I don't know how long this is going to record, but I'm going to make this as quick as possible. I've had some people ask me about my aloes, and I just wanted to do a little thing about just some basic care on aloes. Yeah, they're kind of an exotic plant for this country anyway. Just want to go over a couple of things. The most popular aloe is the Aloe barbadensis, which is used in all kinds of products for skincare, and it has medicinal properties. I'm not going to go into that right now, but there comes the wind. But I pulled some stuff up off of a website, and I'm going to combine that with some of the stuff that I've learned. Well, it says here that they're grown in zone 10 and 11. I'm in zone 9 in the US. I'm in a subtropical climate. The reason why they say zone 10 or 11 is these plants are extremely frost sensitive. Now the website also said they need to be in direct sunlight. Around here, that's not really the case. And the reason for it is it's an arid climate plant. Okay, it's mainly native to Africa. You know, they're an arid climate plant. They'll pull what little what little water is available in the ground, and it pulls it up and it stores it just like a cactus. And but around here, when it gets really humid, they don't really like that if they're out in the sun, because there's too much moisture. Okay. Now, personally, with the aloes that I have here, I water them about every day. But what happens is you have them in a plant. The soil will dry out, at least around here. It'll dry out really quickly. So when you get to this season into the summer and then back into the fall, which really we don't have a spring or a fall around here. It lasts about 2 weeks or so for each season. Excuse me. But the soil dries out really quickly, especially this time of year before the rainy season. And so I water them every day. So most of the people watching this video, don't do that. Okay? If you're in Florida, or say if you're in Texas, although they're probably less conducive to growing in Texas because they generally get a lot more freezing days than they would do around here normally. But I water them every day, but they can go for about a week without me watering them. They're not very happy afterwards, but I give mine a light watering every day. Again, this says here full sun or light shade. Again, what I do here is you'll notice, like when I have some big ones down here I'm looking at right now. I'm probably going to move them to the front eventually within a couple of weeks. But they'll sit in the direct sunlight. They'll do okay. But most of them I keep in the shade, or at least partial shade. My big one is behind the camera, and it's in a good spot where it gets about probably, well, it would be considered full sun. It gets about 6 hours of sun a day. But I call it part shade. If you leave it out in sun over here, you've got 12 hours of sun, and it's hardcore for an aloe. They'll do okay, but around here they do better on the corners of buildings and stuff. I see them just kind of floating around, usually in the shade, again, which is interesting, which it kind of goes against what I read here. This part is absolutely true. They need to be in well-drained soil. What I try to do, which doesn't always work out, if you mix a little sand in with the soil, and it'll really take just about any kind of soil, it has your basic nutrients in it. Mix it with sand, or put some gravel down in the bottom of, like, if you have a very large pot, or if you're actually planting it in the ground, put some small loose gravel as a base, and then put your soil in on top of that. But it has to be well drained. It can't sit in water. It cannot. It's a succulent plant. Just goes without saying. Okay, I explained the watering. In the winter, they go dormant. That is absolutely true. All winter, when these guys were able to stay outside, they just kind of sat around and they just kind of sat around. Now they're growing really fast because it's getting warmer, and they really love the heat around here. They don't like the humidity, but they really love the heat. And during the summer, they go crazy. If I have enough battery power, I'm going to show you back here with Papa and what he's doing with his blooms and stuff. And if I have enough time, I'll show you how I get little suckers, or really not sure what they call them. But I mean, there are actually two ways you can grow them. You can pull shoots off the bottom. They kind of grow around, kind of underneath the main plant. They just kind of shoot up, and you can dig them out. Or the website said you could actually grow them from seed. Now, I don't know how you get the seeds from them. I assume they're from the flowers here, but they're tubular flowers. They kind of hang down when they open up, and they have a lot of nectar. They're like they're like the red sage that I have here, the salvia, or some other plants that are like that. And it says here they're great for hummingbirds. Now, I don't get hummingbirds around here, so but whatever. I mean, they're really neat, I think that's about it here. Yeah. Older specimens bloom. My big one is about 6 years old, going on 7. So every winter it blooms. It goes dormant, and then lo and behold, just before our spring season starts, around mid-February or so, it starts shooting up a stalk. Or in this case, I got 2. Last year I got 3 of them. And it shoots up the stalk, and within a month, it's taller than I am. I'm a short guy, but whatever. They grow really tall, and you get little branches off of them, and then you have these tubular flowers that come off of there. And they're yellowish flowers. They're never seen anything like them, but they're really neat. But yeah, if you have an aloe that's maybe a year or 2 old, don't expect it to bloom. You're gonna have to let it grow for a number of years. The other thing I wanted to mention is not really on here. The website did say it, but I'm going to repeat it, and I'm kind of going against it with the pot that I have back here for my big guy. You want to put them in a shallow wide pot, because the roots go out like this. They spread out. They don't go very deep. It's an arid climate plant. So any water is going to be available to it. It's going to be closer to the surface, because it grows in the sand or rock, really. But the roots will spread. They'll just spread right out, and they get really thick. Excuse me. Yeah, just on the tail end of a head cold, and just bear with me. But everything out here is doing really well. Again, I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to probably take you through this garden real quick as a little update. And again, if I have enough battery power, I'm going to show you really fast how to get some of these little suckers, or whatever you want to call them, off of your main aloe. So let's try this out. Okay, I really let this guy go. I'm not sure if this is going to work out or not, but... And it's really windy out. But you can see here that this is typically not the size shoots that I go for. But I'm going to show you real quick how I do this. Put this out of the way. And I have a little garden multi-tool. And I got a little weeder on the end here. This actually works really good for what I'm going to do. You do have to be gentle to pull them out, but once you get them out by that root, you can replant them and they work out really well. So what I'm going to do here, you kind of feel around for where the base is. They're going to be kind of deep. Okay. Pardon me. Keep digging down, digging down. You'll feel that root. It's just one big fat root. And I just kind of dig around a little bit here. Again, this is not how I usually... This is going to be really tough. I mean, there's a lot of guys in here. Just kind of reach down. Oh, good Lord, this is really deep. Wow. They'll be right up against the plant. Kind of find it with your little puller. You don't want to cut the root for obvious reasons. Wow, this is going to be a fail. Yeah, that's a fail. Okay. Now, if you cut it, let me just show you here. That's actually a really fat one. But it extends quite a way down, and then you get these little ones off to the side. Let me try another one. You can do this with your hands too, but usually it's easier with this weed puller. But they're really in there. They're right up against this guy. This may not work out. Wow. This isn't... You try one in the back. They're really close to the main plant. And the main plant has its own roots, which are really big. So, I'm just going to try to dig one out here without destroying it. I don't think it's going to happen. This is really buried. I'm going to set this one aside. That might work. See how few roots there are? You'll have one main root down here, and the rest just kind of spread out along the base. But that's what they do. They don't go deep. They spread out. Yeah, these main roots are really down in there. I don't think this is going to work. I don't usually wait this long. I apologize. Ooh, do I have one? Might have one. No. Alright, look at that. I really apologize. This is planning on getting a nice small one here, and I'm getting them, but they keep snapping off. These roots are huge. Oh man, you're killing me, Papa. You're killing me. This one might work. I'm just going to dig around by hand and see what I can get. When they start out, they sit real close to the surface. Now, it's the same thing. This isn't working out. They're too close. And the roots are too big. Now if you grab them by the base and pull gently, usually you're supposed to get something out of there, but these roots are just way too deep. Of course, all of these are way too big too. You want them to be about this size here. These are monsters. He just kind of showed up over the winter, and now they just they went boom. I mean, these are all huge. This one here is probably the best candidate. I'm not going to be planting any right now. Like I said, I got 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 of them. I have way too many, but this is probably the best candidate I have right here because it still has the root system here. But I'll show you that this is what you don't want. See, they're not usually not like this. They get them about this big, and they got a little root goes out almost 2 inches or so, maybe 2 inches, and a bunch of little roots coming off the sides, little spreads or whatever. And you can you bury that to right about here or so, and I just let them sit. Don't overwater them, and maybe once or twice a week or so. Eventually they'll take, the roots will spread. They don't go deep, like I said, they spread out. And if they turn a little brown, don't worry about it. Now here's the thing, okay? If you have a good size one and the tips start turning brown, that may not be a bad thing. Okay? It could be that they're being overwatered. That's not been my experience, but again, this is kind of different from the rest of the country. But even this guy gets brown tips, and what that usually means around here is that they got hit with frost or cold. So the tips are gonna die off first because there's less surface area. But eventually the whole thing will dry up. It'll start from the tip. Let me show you. It'll start from the tip and it'll work its way down. And eventually it just shrivels up and then you can pull it off. If they're on the bottom and they turn brown, they're done. Let me show you. They kind of peel like an onion. See that? That's how they... Can't do that one. But they kind of peel off like an onion. And you can leave the base. That's fine. But eventually your base is going to get higher and higher and higher and higher. So you get enough root base exposed, and you have to repot it. But I'm sorry about that, guys. I never got a really good one out of here. They just got too big. Again, this one here is the best candidate. because it has roots coming off the sides. This might actually take, but I doubt it. I'm going to move over to another spot and see if I can't get show you guys better how to do this.